hot damn, Aries. You got Venus in your sign this month, starting February 3rd. So you're going to be feeling really good for Valentine's Day. This is your season, this is your time when Venus shines on either your sun sign, if you're watching this because you're an Aries sun, or your rising sign, or even your moon sign, right? Those are all really important parts of yourself, and Venus is there. So if you've been looking for love, you've been looking for friendship, companionship, just more value in your life, right? More money in your life, all these things Venus related, more beauty. This is a great time for you, okay? So really and truly, yes, the whole month of February is really great because of this movement of Venus, but really the best day for you to celebrate Valentine's Day is the 15th, because on the 15th, well, on Valentine's Day, we know the moon's going to be in the sign of Virgo. And I don't know, Virgo to me isn't the most romantic sign. It's the analyzer of the zodiac. But on the 15th, that morning, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when the moon moves into the sign Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus also. So this would be the perfect time if if you're in a relationship, you can start off celebrating Valentine's Day early in the morning, like a nice breakfast in bed kind of thing, because 6:45, we have the moon in this beautiful relationship, peacemaking, harmony sign of Libra. So take advantage of it. Now, remember that Sunday the 16th, not the best time to celebrate Valentine's Day. You can go back and listen to the month ahead, okay? So for you, the 15th is ideal. Now, remember, your ruling planet Mars is in its retrograde period. We know that doesn't happen, I think it happens like every year and a half. So Mars, the planet of action, the planet of motivation. That's why you're like so full speed ahead, Aries, because you're this cardinal fire sign. Cardinal signs push forward the season. You push forward spring. So your ruling planet that loves to move fast and go for it is in the watery sign of Cancer, moving in its retrograde backward period, okay? And so this is a time, as I've talked about before, Mars isn't supposed to do as well in Cancer because Cancer moves slow and feels and wants to feel safe and wants to feel all the emotions, and Mars just kind of wants to bulldoze right through all that. So it is kind of a weird time for you. It has been that way since December 6th, and it will continue to be that way the whole month until the 23rd of February. Then Mars will go direct, but it's still going to affect us until mid-May. Okay, so just know that. It'll feel a little lighter for you the end of the month. So just go, try to move a little slower, try to give a little bit more compassion and understanding for emotions, and especially your own. Okay, so I've talked about a lot about like deep diving into healing, into therapy, into any of that emotional stuff, right? Just kind of digging deep because you want to move fast, and you can move fast through a lot of this emotion. Okay, now let's see, there's low fire this month. So there's not a lot of planets going on in fire signs. So if you're feeling stagnant, burn a candle, a real one with real fire, safely, or be by near an outdoor bonfire, something like that. That's whatever safe way of fire you can work with, okay? What else? Let's talk about the cards I pulled for you. So I did a little pre-reading. These are the cards that I looked at before I got on this call with you. And the first one that came up is the Eight of Pentacles here from the Inner Light Tarot. This is such a great deck. I often forget about this deck because it's all yoga. And so this is it. We have it in our shop in Kent, Connecticut. And it's just really got great vibes. So here's the Eight of Pentacles, and we're talking about the month of February for you. And here's this card of hard work, because that's what Eight of Pentacles usually is, right? It's like working hard, it's starting to pay off. I like how we're seeing the back of her, and it looks like she's like developing these really nice back muscles. And it kind of reminded me of like looking at your shadow side, looking, the attentions and behind, which is not usually the view that we're looking at. But there's a lot of beauty there. Now, the next card that we got was the Emperor, also from the Inner Light Tarot. And I think this is really cool because the Emperor is like, he's the one that's supporting her to be able to be in this magnificent pose, right? They're working together as a team. And he isn't almost she's like the limelight, but he is the foundation of it all. So the Emperor is also ruled by Aries. So it's interesting that that comes up here, almost like letting other people shine. I like how the first card was like the back view. This card is like a side view. And then the next card, well, actually the next two cards are side views also. We have the Fool 2.0 from the Curious Creatures Tarot. And this is 2.0 because there is another one in it. And they all have animal heads. So this one's a dog. And so we've kind of got this leaping ahead. Like she's leaping here, she's leaping there. There's some like bold moves. And, you know, we've had a lot of planets hanging out in water signs for a while now. And we know come spring, Neptune, Saturn, they're going to move into Aries. And so you're going to have a lot more activity. And I think it's long overdue. You're ready to jump in. But right now it's almost like, let's look at all aspects of things. Here is the Seven of Pentacles. That was the last card of your pre-reading. And I think of seven as your spiritual path. Pentacles, something that you're kind of waiting for it to grow. Okay, I love how the sunflower back here is kind of taller than all the other flowers. And so something's really standing out. And I got to tell you, Aries, you got to get Valentine's Day right this year. You can't mess this Valentine's Day up. I have a feeling you've messed it up before, but you can't do it this year. You got to do it right. You really got to let your partner shine, share with them how special they are to you, how much they stand out from the others, share all angles kind of what you care about with that person. Okay. Now, if you are not in a relationship and you are having Valentine's Day, you know, with yourself or with friends, whatever you do, it's just another day. Okay. That somebody made up. So let's not forget that. But there's a lot here about kind of delving into new areas, things finally popping up for you, showing up for you, looking at different angles of things, okay? And so I see really exciting energy, whether we're talking about love or not. Now that's your pre-reading. Let's do a live reading, see what comes up. Haven't looked at any of these cards yet. Working with a few different decks. This is the Tattoo Tarot. I'm going to take one from the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. And that's also the Tarot of Curious Creatures is Chris Ann. We like her. Looks like we're getting two there. Those are very stuck together. Okay, let's give you another Inner Light. Oh, these are just like flinging across the table. So I guess you're getting a few more than I was planning. Okay, let's start with this. So, month of February, look at the Eight of Pentacles showed up again. And so she is really figuring out the degrees of the angles on these pentacles. She's hard at work. She looks really interested in what she's doing. And so that's your second Eight of Pentacles. So it's almost like pay attention to the details and stay focused. Feels very Capricorn. Now, your next card is the Page of Voices. This is the Page of Swords traditionally. There's a lot of thoughts going on when we have the Page of Voices. It feels very Virgo-like to me. We're talking about how Valentine's Day is with the moon in Virgo. There's a lot here. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of ideas. Looks like the people in the background are like dancing. Okay, so there's a lot of fun, and these cards all kind of show movement. So up here with the Emperor, with the Fool, a lot of yoga poses. So there's some movement here. So maybe you're planning something fun. Here's the Six of Voices, the Six of Swords. It's almost like your higher self is giving you like a little nudge forward. Okay, and so I think this card is really cool from the Muse. And so it's like you're kind of taking a look, possible, I don't know, maybe you're thinking about making a bigger commitment, or maybe you're thinking about like moving in with someone. It's almost like maybe Valentine's Day sparks up some of these thoughts, and there's your higher self kind of like giving you a little shove there. Okay. Now, these are the three that kind of just fell out and seem to really want to be in this reading. The first one is the Ace of Pentacles. This is lovely. It's an ace. There's something very much of value here. Okay. Now, the next one that came out is the Goddess of Cups. This is I think this might be the Knight of Cups, the romantic. There's a lot of very sensual energy, very beautiful energy, a lot of feminine energy here. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. It's an interesting angle. It's like, huh. I feel like I haven't seen this card before, but it's almost like her reflection looking back. Okay, so we know that even if you're not in a relationship, there is a relationship going on with yourself that is obviously showing up to be nurtured. It almost looks like you've been really, really busy, focused on work, focused on details, but this is kind of showing you to nudge you into the direction of what's been calling to you, like your reflection of who you are is really changing. We know that Aries, that you're associated with the term I am. So you like to update yourself a lot. This is kind of like showing you like, hey, yeah, like this is another version of you that's showing up. You got to get to know yourself, your higher selves here, your reflections here, all these versions of you in her head there. And so you want to kind of really love all these parts of yourself. Like they're very exposed here. It's like loving your whole self. And this way, even if you're not in a relationship, you might be able to find the right people to, have this relationship here, this give and take. And I like this, that it's the Fool 2.0. So like, it's okay. Maybe you've been hurt before, all that, but there's stuff showing up now. It's like your confidence is showing up. Your direction is showing up. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? We're going to go week by week here for the month of February. We're going to call it 4 weeks, and let's see what we've got going on for you, Aries. This is the little Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Week 1, we've got the Ace of Cups. No one's ever upset to see the Ace of Cups. Even though it's the cup of emotions, this is often called the cup of satisfaction. Okay, so it's showing up for you right off the bat because we know that Venus moves into Aries on the 3rd of February. So you are going to be good to go here. The sun shows up, which is a lot of clarity, visibility, and it's a lot of fun. So we go right into, from the cup of satisfaction into a card of visibility. Right underneath that card where there's like people dancing, right? And this card that I felt like was really Virgo, but look at all the people dancing in her head. So make sure that you're getting the fun that you need. Week 3, we have the Wheel of Fortune showing up. This is a card of like, things are in motion. Sometimes we don't always have the patience for things to be in motion. Things are coming together. We only have so much control, kind of being asked to surrender and allow things to happen. Okay. And then it's coming in under that card that was like surrendering to your higher power. Week 4, we have the 3 of Wands, and it's looking out to see where do I want to go next. And it's coming in next to the Wheel of Fortune, which is a travel card. Okay, so you may be getting some plans. You may maybe you're getting the little nudge to like, yeah, I really do want to book that trip. And the next 2 cards, there's not a lot of clothing involved, so it's probably somewhere warm. And we've got the Fool up here in a bathing suit. So yeah, this is a good time to start thinking about the plans, starting to put a little bit in order, especially after Mars goes direct after the 23rd of February. So, I don't necessarily like not take action on things during a Mars retrograde because you have to take a certain amount of action, right? I'm not going to like launch new things in a big way during a retrograde, but I'm still going to move forward in my life. But for you, because you are ruled by Mars, Aries, I would at least respect the fact that your ruling planet is retrograded, at least if you can wait till the 23rd before like booking this trip. Even though there is a shadow period after, at least give yourself till the 23rd and maybe the 24th just to be safe. Okay. All right, great. So let's go with some dice. Let's use a little bit of charms here in this gigantic charm bowl. Let's see what your dice are first. This is Virgo. We've got Saturn, Virgo, 2nd house. house. So Saturn's about responsibility, hardship, all the human life stuff, right? And then Virgo's the analyzer, the detailer. And then the second house is your house of finances and your house of self-value. So there's a couple things here. Like I was getting kind of a strong message that you have to make sure that you really show up in the details this year on Valentine's Day or on the 15th, which is ideal for you, as we talked about. In a very conscientious way, like you really have to pay attention to the details, because again, I think you've messed something up before and you don't want to risk another problem if you can avoid it. Okay, so show up in the details. Maybe write a nice card. You got Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury likes to express things. Okay, second house is value. It's a Venus house, so it rules jewelry, it rules clothing, it rules flowers, it rules a beautiful meal. So make sure you don't have to break the bank. Saturn is there saying, you know, make sure you're efficient, but make sure that you have expressed how much this person that is your partner has added to your life, okay? Make sure that you show up in the details and make sure you're bringing flowers. Don't mess this one up, Aries. This could be such a great opportunity for you, okay? If you are not, again, if you're not in a relationship, pay attention to, I would be going to any event that you're invited to, especially if there's work-related event, if there's some kind of networking or something like that, or just get out and about and talk with people if you're looking to meet other people, okay? Or maybe just buy yourself something really beautiful that you've really wanted to for a long time, because we have the second house involved, all right? So just do something, even if that means just saving the money, something that makes you feel good. All right, now I'm going to give you charms. Let's just do a little bit of charms over the top here, see what jumps out. So along the top, first of all, we have like this opalite heart. All right, so love showing up right away. We've got the letter R. We've got an old school key, like an innkeeper's key. We have a pin that says votes for women, along with this, this is like one of those like wine tokens that you put around a glass. It's got a present on it. Okay, so votes for women and a present next to like an in. Okay, and the letter N and the letter T, which almost to me looks like the word rent, right? Like almost like rent a room. There's a letter I down here. So, all right. What else? We got a little hammer over here. Hard work, show up. Oh, here's the E. It was down there. So we have the word rent. So I think there's like renting a room here. There's a present involved. The hammer is like, almost reminds me of Saturn, like showing up, taking care of the details, hard work, making sure it's all taken care of, all I don't know, like nailed into place, like the right, like making sure the details are together. There's like a dragon, it's like a crest, okay, here. And all right, that's all the charms. What else? I got to give you some dates. Let me give you some dates this month that really stand out. And we're going to look at the chart or the dice here to tell you that. So we got Saturn, and we know that Saturn rules the sign Capricorn, and it also is the original ruler of the sign Aquarius. So we have the moon moving into the sign of Capricorn. Looks like it's there on the 24th. Let's see, it starts on the 22nd of February. So the day before your ruling planet goes direct, the 22nd of February, 6:09 p.m. These are power days for you. The 23rd, when Mars does go direct, the 24th, the 25th, this continues into the 26th, and the 27th when we have the new moon in Pisces, okay? So all the way up to 3:46 a.m., so very early in the morning on Thursday. These are power times for you. I also want to give you a couple more dates because we rolled the sign Virgo, and we also rolled the second house, which is Taurus. So when is the moon? Let's see. The moon is in Taurus starting Monday, February 3rd, 10:33 p.m. through the 4th, through the 5th until the 6th at 1:44 a.m. So you got a nice spell there in the beginning of the month. And then I'm just going to give you some Virgo dates. So you got a lot of power days this month. The moon moves into Virgo right after the full moon in Leo on February 12th, and it will be there at 8:07 p.m. through the 13th, through the 14th, and through the 15th until 6:45 a.m. And the 15th, again, keeps coming up as a very important day for you, Aries. So get your plans straight, rent a room if you need to, make sure you're showing up in the details, and have a great